Alright, so today I will be showing you how to modify your Nerf Maverick. I will be showing you how to remove the air restrictors, increase firepower and range. And after that, I will be showing you how to do a full barrel drop mod, so that you can reload it easier and stuff. Okay, so this is just a list of all the materials you're going to need. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. That's one's the little plus, so that you can unscrew your Nerf Maverick and get at the insides. You'll need a flathead screwdriver. You'll need this to pry open the barrel later once we get inside the gun. You will need a rubber mallet. You probably won't need this, but I just like to have it because I don't like to damage certain parts of my Nerf gun when I'm inside of it. And you will need a thing of sandpaper. That's just at the end. I kind of like to have sandpaper to smooth stuff out. You also need a pocket knife or a razor. Hopefully not one this big, but you know, overkill's a little underrated. And then you will need a pair of clippers, which I need to go get from my garage. So, alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do here is you're going to remove all the screws all over this side of the Maverick. You're going to want to remove the 2 screws here on the slide first, and then all the other screws. Take your slide off, and there's a little piece here you want to make sure you don't lose. So I'm going to spare you the time of me unscrewing all this and just cut that part of the video out. So, alright, so I've unscrewed all the screws in my Nerf Maverick here. I carefully took the 3 screws out of this, and it just kind of pops open in 2 parts like that. There's a little orange piece here. You want to be careful not to lose that. And I suggest just leaving the screws into the shell, because then you don't lose them as easily. So we're not going to need this until we put it back together, so you can just set that aside. And we have our Nerf Maverick here, and we should be able to just do the same thing as we did with the priming slide. You just kind of go around and pop it open. So, give me a second here. Apparently there's a screw I missed under the priming slide here, so there we go. Pull that off. Once through, there we go. And we won't need this again. We don't want to lose any screws, so we're going to try and leave them in their little slots. Set that aside. So now we have the inside of the Nerf Maverick here. What we're going to want to get out is this whole barrel part right here. But take that out. Alright, so in order to get this barrel out, it's fairly simple. We're just going to pick up the gun here. There's a little black button on the other side of this gun here. We're going to press that. It retracts that. This thing pops out. Now we got our barrel out. And we really don't need to do anything with this right now. We just don't want to lose it. So I'm going to set that aside. And hopefully we don't lose any parts off that. So now let's show you how to get into this barrel here. This is where we're going to need the flathead screwdriver for prying it open here. So we're going to take it. Going to kind of open that up there. We're just going to slip the flathead under there. Going to pry carefully away at it. Sorry about that. After a good 5 minutes of putzing around with this, I finally managed to pry it off. So what you'll end up having here is this little orange part that comes out here. You want to hold on to that, along with that. And over on this end, you can slide this out. You have this big long tube. And the spring, you gotta make sure you keep this spring. If you lose the spring, it's not gonna work right in the end. So you can just stick the spring back on that. You can just set those parts aside. So now what you're gonna do is you have 3 screws all the way around this. We're gonna unscrew those, and we're gonna pop this off so that we can get inside these 6 barrels here. Alright, so I've opened up the thing here, so all I have to do Got screws out. Should just pop that off now. So then what we have here is we have these little 3-prong things. We don't want any of those, so we just gotta come in here and should be able to take this thing straight off. You can keep this spring here, and this little 3-prong thing. We don't need any of those, so we can just throw those away. What I'm going to show you here, so we got to do with this is what's important. We have to take our clippers. We're just going to take this and cut that off. And after that, we're going to take our knife. We're going to cut all these little pieces off, or if you want to, you could take a drill, and on the other side, you can drill straight through here, but I like to use a knife, so I'm gonna cut through this part again. Alright, so after a long time of just fiddling around, I finally managed to get all the little centers out of these. So now what we want to do is take a knife. I actually had to go get a smaller knife because my big knife did not work so well. And you just kind of want to go inside here and trim up a few of the edges and all. That one's pretty good actually. So yeah, and then once you're done doing that, you're going to get your sandpaper out. You're going to kind of roll it up here. Roll it up tighter. You're going to take your sandpaper and then roll up tight enough, but you're going to want to stick it inside there and just kind of sand around. So, trying to get this here. And then once you're done with that, you can put each one of these back into here. And stick this on and make sure you line the screw holes back up. And you can put the screws back in. Alright, well now that we have our barrel mounted here, all we need to do is put it back together. So we got our little rod here with the spring on it. And stick that back up through there, hopefully. There we go. And we're going to pop this one back on. And we're going to take a little orange piece, kind of stick that on there. This is the part where I have my rubber mallet for. Just all simple, just done. Got that back on. Pop it around a little bit, make sure that orange piece pops out. That's good. So now all we need to do is put it back the same way we took it out. Pop the little button, hopefully. There we go. Now we have that back in. And then from there, all we need to do is reassemble it. So, stick those on, stick that on, and then when you put this part on, you have to be really careful because there's a spring inside of this little slide. You have to get this little metal rod here to slip through a part of that spring so that it can have the door slide back and forth. So again, I'm going to cut out here. Alright, so now we have our Nerf Maverick all modded here. So pull this back, it locks, and then the spring there, that slides back. That pops open. It's good. So thanks for watching my video.